Hello everyone, thank you for visiting the Warrior channel. Today, the fighter we will be analyzing is, at this point in time, not only the best boxer in Japan, but arguably the best boxer in the world. The monster, Naoya Inoue. First of all, he displays nearly perfect in-and-out boxing. Based on solid fundamentals and footwork, he pulls back as his opponent steps in and steps forward as the opponent hesitates, dealing damage while minimizing the damage he takes. By doing so, he continuously accumulates punishment on his opponents while keeping himself remarkably safe. His footwork is extremely fast, compact, and above all, efficient. Although he is constantly on the move, there are almost no unnecessary motions. When you watch his fights, you can often see opponents struggling to land clean shots simply because they cannot catch or control Inoue's feet. In addition, Inoue effectively utilizes the bouncing step, a technique rarely used by professional boxers due to how much stamina it consumes. Even so, he applies it at exactly the right moments and maintains perfect in-and-out boxing throughout all 12 rounds without showing signs of fatigue. This alone clearly demonstrates just how exceptional his stamina and overall athletic ability are. However, his in-and-out boxing is not built on footwork alone. His outstanding distance control and lead hand usage play equally important roles. Even when facing opponents with superior physical attributes, Inoue consistently dominates the lead hand battle. With a clean and efficient jab, light and quick footwork, and precise distance control, his lead hand functions as a complete and unified system. At this point in time, it is difficult to argue that any fighter possesses a better lead hand than Naoya Inoue. When you watch his fights, his jab may touch the opponent's guard, but it almost never cuts through empty air, showing just how little wasted motion his punches contain. This clearly highlights his elite sense of timing and distance. As the saying goes, he who controls the lead hand controls the world. And Naoya Inoue is a fighter who proves this statement through his performances. Most of his fights unfold with him constantly pressuring and controlling his opponent using the lead hand, slowly suffocating them over time. His near-perfect jab applies continuous pressure to the opponent's front side, while his in-and-out movement completely denies them the ability to establish stable distance. As a result, opponents often lose their fighting spirit and find themselves unable to commit to any effective strategy, eventually surrendering control of the bout. This is why so many of Inoue's fights end in one-sided fashion, with him firmly in command from start to finish. That said, excellent movement and a strong lead hand alone are not enough to become the very best. What truly elevates Naoya Inoue into monster territory is his overwhelming destructive power. He is not merely a fighter who excels at movement and distance control. Even while executing perfect spacing and footwork, he possesses the ability to end a fight with a single punch. His record makes this clear: 32 wins, 27 by knockout, giving him an incredible knockout ratio of 84%. If he were simply a mobile boxer with a good jab, opponents might choose to tighten their guard, accept some damage, and force their way inside to neutralize his footwork. However, Inoue's punches are anything but light. Each shot is heavy, sharp, and genuinely dangerous, making even the decision to absorb damage in order to close distance an extremely costly one. From the opponent's perspective, even approaching him becomes a serious challenge. Quite simply, there is no easy answer. On top of this, Inoue also possesses exceptional timing. In many fights, you can find moments where punches are thrown simultaneously, yet Inoue lands first and drops his opponent. These exchanges clearly reveal just how sharp his reactions, vision, and sense of timing truly are. The more you watch Naoya Inoue, the more it feels as though every offensive attribute has reached its peak. His defense is also solid. With good vision and a tight high guard, he minimizes damage even when trapped near the ropes, often countering effectively and hurting his opponent in return. Even when opponents manage to slow his movement, landing truly decisive damage on him remains extremely difficult. Strictly speaking, when compared to other elite fighters, his pure defensive ability may not appear overwhelmingly superior. However, his exceptional in-and-out movement compensates for this very effectively. Taken as a whole, from the opponent's point of view, Naoya Inoue can be described as nothing short of a disaster. That said, even a fighter who appears this complete does have a clear and potentially dangerous weakness. That weakness lies in his hand positioning when attacking. When Inoue goes on the offensive, he has a tendency to let his hands drop away from his face. and this habit appears relatively frequently in his fights. When reviewing his footage, it is easy to spot moments where his guard lowers during attacks, creating openings for heavy counters. Dropping the guard while attacking opens the door to heavy counters and can instantly put a fighter in serious danger. On top of that, compared to many fighters, Inoue tends to fight with his chin slightly raised, which exposes his face and increases the damage he takes if he is hit clean. In fact, because of this issue, Inoue has experienced several dangerous moments that nearly resulted in defeat. Notable examples include his bouts against Nanito Donaire,
The chin, short left hook.
Luis Neri,
Right now doesn't seem spooked by the punching power. Oh! There it is! Inoue goes down!
and Ramon Cardenas, where he suffered knockdowns that could have changed the outcome of those fights. Fortunately, all of those knockdowns occurred early in the bouts. Thanks to his quick recovery, strong mentality, and intelligent decision-making, he was able to overcome the danger and eventually secure victory through a clear gap in skill.
In trouble again! Here in this 8th round, it's all Inoue!
However, had those moments occurred in the later rounds, when fatigue had already set in, the outcome would have been far less certain. This weakness is not highlighted as often because his excellent reflexes, solid high guard in close-range situations, and outstanding footwork and movement cover it to a significant degree. Nevertheless, if Naoya Inoue wants to become an even more complete fighter and truly solidify his position at the very top, especially if he continues to move up in weight, this is an issue that must be addressed. As weight classes increase, the power behind opponents' punches becomes far more dangerous, and punches from bigger fighters are much harder to recover from. For that reason, I personally believe this is a critical and unavoidable task that Naoya Inoue must solve if he is to continue his dominance at the highest level. With this, I'll conclude my analysis of Naoya Inoue and take my leave. Thank you for watching the Warrior Channel. Your subscriptions and likes mean a lot to us. See you next time.